to control the properties of the paths is really simple in vector. So if I've either drawn a shape, which is a closed path using the pen tool, or if I've used one of the pre-existing shapes and drawn a shape, I'm able to change the properties of it simply by selecting that shape or that closed path and then going over here to the different options in this menu. So you'll notice that there's a little checkbox next to the background color. So in this program, the background is simply the fill color of that path. Okay, so remember, this is a closed path. The fill color of that is called the background, and so when I click that checkbox, it instantly changes it into a solid color. If I want to change that color, I click on the color box, and I can use this slider to go through the different colors and then the different hues of that. So going up to light, down to darker, so adding more white, adding black. Within each one of those color swatches is really easily changeable this way. And so again, when you're dealing with the inside of a shape, also known as a closed path, that is controlled by clicking on this checkbox of the background of that particular object. Okay, it's really important. If you don't have a bounding box around any of the objects, that object is not selected. So you can see when I click on that object, this triangle, this bounding box appears. Now that allows me to edit it and stretch it, skew it. I can also turn it and rotate it and those sorts of things as well. So again, that's how you change the background color. But what if you want to put a thick line around the outside? So remember, what we're really looking at here is something called a path. And that path exists whether or not we can see it. So you can see that I have it selected and there's a bounding box around it. If I click off of that, it appears invisible, right? But when I hover over it, it shows up. The reason why it's invisible is there's no background and there's no border. So if I want to put a border on it, I click on that and I can change the border thickness. I can change whether or not it's on the inside of that path or on the outside of the path, or if it's centered on that path. Okay, so whenever you have this border on it, that is called a stroke. So we are putting strokes on the paths and we're putting fills within the path. Okay, in this program they're called border and background. So if I want to change the color, I can click on that and move to a different color. If I want to put a background on it, I simply need to put the check mark in that box so that I can change the color. Okay, same thing with any object. And I can change the color. I can change the thickness. And again, I can change whether it's on the inside, outside, or right on the center.